you can get into anything. You might muck it up. Going out and finding what you love to do, finding what you want to do, finding a way to do it, and just doing it. Having that calmness in the stressful situation, which live entertainment is.
And then, we have, your background, which makes you look like a warlord. What makes a good gun?
What makes a good gun is what feels comfortable to you. Also run Aerial Olympics, which is aerial and pole competition. We hold it in the US, but we have performers from all over the world come out.
My man, welcome to the Formidable Me channel. How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great, Talus. Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Getting through the lockdown period. It's been kind of weird and a little bit harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You find yourself a month into it going, I'm getting a little bit crazy.
Yeah, antsy to get out and do something.
Yeah, the interaction. I mean, even just to go to a restaurant and sit with people or to have a face-to-face conversation. All right, for those, everybody
Yes.
is Talus Jarvis, and Talus and I, we go way, way back. And
Oh yeah.
Talus, I've always just really admired you so very much. You're just one of the most loyal friends, and you have such a solid core value of like integrity. And you also are famous for being a can-do. I know that Talus is the guy, and I have called a couple times when I'm in my deepest, most horrible binds, and Talus has been the guy to come in with these big, broad shoulders, and he gets it done. He looks at any situation and he doesn't panic. He's just cool, look at it like, all right, there's some death over there, there's some blood over there. Let's solve the problem. He's a get it done kind of guy. And that's interesting, especially because you started out as a kid who was just a kid on the crew. I think your story is awesome. I want to hear about how you went from what you were as a kid and tell us kind of what you're doing now and how you got there.
Well, in my head, it's happened very quickly, but it was just yesterday we were doing shows on stage with you.
At a community theater.
Skating down to the high school to do some little show down there. It started in junior high in the theater. It started in high school in community theaters, and then moved up to, before I was out of high school, I got up to Sierra, which is where I met you, and you taught me tons just to get me up and going. You were one of the guys I looked up to as a kid, trying to find where I was going, trying to find what I wanted to do. It was hard, but it was something I knew I needed to stay in. I'd tried other jobs. I'd tried going from cleaning a restaurant or to doing fast food, and finding other jobs was not for me at all. So I stayed in the theater and I did what I could to stay in it, working long hours for little money or no money and doing what you had to get the show done. That's been a lot of driver my whole life, is keeping that show going, keeping some show up. I love everybody out in the audience having the time of their lives, and they look forward to this for however long, months, years, weeks. The community theater show to a speech in the park to more recent now, the corporate shows we've getting into. The joy on everyone's face as they see the show, and it's just magic for them. And yeah, you're one part of making that happen, and that's fun that they're having. What that they look forward to has always been a driver for me to make that happen, which has always kept me in it, and I still do it into today, which is so I went through community theater and I met you, and I did a ton there, and then I got up into the corporate theater and the concerts and the touring, and as I've just found jobs and found companies to work for, that from there I've ended up I wanted to now teach in a loose term here. I hit a point in the corporate career where I wasn't seeing the level of guys out in the crew here in Salt Lake City. And I wasn't seeing the level of what they could be, and the care for the detail of the show, the drive to make it happen. So I one day after a show, I went to my current employer at the time with them. I said, look, I can't go further working for you guys. Here's my 2 weeks notice after our big season of shows. And I was like, look, here, I quit. I'd still want to do shows for you. I'm still going to do it. I'm just going to go into freelance. I'm going to start my own thing. And took me that decision over the course of that show, which is like maybe a week.
Right.
To go from, okay, maybe we could do something, start a little thing on the side, to cool, I quit.
Yeah.
And we went and started a company, which is Black Ops AV, which I run now, which is a small company of me doing what I like to do, project managing shows and TD shows and all sorts of fun stuff like that, which we'll get to more of here in a minute. But I quit and I started that, and I went right to work. I was out maybe a week and a half, I think. I was on the next gig freelancing for another local production company in town, and brought a couple of guys with me that I'd kind of worked with over the years. And I started Black Ops AV to start training them and training the next level of the next generation of crew that to take my place when I move on to some other thing. And it's been a lot of fun.
It's just amazing that you go from, in one moment, you're wearing the hat of the security of, you're paying me to work for you. Then you said, no, because I'm frustrated. I'm dissatisfied with the detail, the quality of these guys. And you're looking around going, the number of people that really care, they can be better. We can raise the level. And you're not teaching them. So I'm going to try that. And the next job you go to, you're just like, I can help you finish your show, and I'm going to bring some friends. This is the formation of your company.
Yeah.
No business degree. That kind of like, I got to just figure this out. And then you went from doing your first job was a little job, and then you just kept talking to people, reputation, and that grows. That just grows until you're taking major corporate.
I've never taken out advertising. I've never spent anything. It's all word of mouth, meeting face to face. I get the next job from the last job.
Right.
The quality that we put out, they can see that we were able to put out a good product for them that they like to see, and we're good people to be around. I always push a lot to stay calm, to control the situation that you're in. The building could be burning down, like you were saying, there's a little blood over there, some death over there, that's on fire, but you know what, hey, we're gonna go over here and then we'll put that out in a minute. Having that calmness in the stressful situation, which live entertainment is full of stressful situations. We live on that stress. We do our best work 100 miles an hour. That's when we do our best work.
There's so many awesome principles here that you keep touching on and throwing out, but people do their best work when they're busy. You get the most done when you're going 100 miles an hour. And that's where COVID-19 has kind of like unhinged a lot of people. And I feel for me, like just not having an 8 o'clock, I got to be there deadline means I can sleep in a little bit. Everything just kind of, without that pressure, I kind of feel like I've come unhinged a bit. How big is your company now?
8 people. Cool. that I hire at a pretty consistent basis, but then I've got another 5 or 6 that we use randomly. More of a they're here and they learn a lot, and we come in and we'll do classes, and on our off time we'll try to like bring all those guys in, and we'll have a Vectorworks class or a console class, and try to keep our skills sharp, keep our mind on top of the show. So when it does come back, we are still functional in what we're doing, and we still know what's going on.
All right. For another interesting thing about Talus Jarvis is this, on the side of that business, which is kind of on the cool right now with the lockdown being what it is. You mentioned earlier the haunt. I know that I know that you love to work personally with aerial artists and teach and train them, which is
we do a lot of that. Yes.
It's not a profit-making center. And then, we have, your background, which makes you look like a warlord, but it's a hobby, and you definitely have a voice on this, which is, it's exciting. So let's round out the rest of Black Ops.
I've been a part of haunted houses since I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. Since before I met you and was in theater.
Right.
I was working with haunted house guys, doing stuff in my little town, and our little home haunt off the front porch when I was 10, 11 years old. But now it's gotten to, we work with Fear Factory out of Salt Lake City. And we do all of their technical animatronics to lighting to audio to patron flow to just general work around the property to get water places and power and things like that. And I bring my whole team in on that, and that's kept their minds occupied and them busy. And we've rebuilt about half the haunt since December for next year. And we opened a couple weeks ago for Friday, Saturday, halfway to Halloween, in the middle of COVID, in the middle of all this going on, in the middle of shutdowns. We got the okay to open. We had about, I think it was 2,000 or 1,500. I think we ended up with like 1,500 or 1,800 people that we could send through a night. And there was a whole bunch of different changes for that.
So
we do all of that for them. And that's, they tell me it's one of the top haunts in the world right now.
It's massive. It's big. And it's as much a hobby and a passion as it is also, it employs people. You're able to keep people working.
Been a savior for a lot of us. And then, the aerial arts. We do a lot of aerial arts work around town.
For people that don't know what aerial arts are.
It's anybody that dances in the air, that hangs from a fabric or a silk or a hammock or a lyra, the hoop, an aerial hoop, trapeze, aerial pole, straps, chains, anything that hangs and dances, does that performance above all of that. Is kind of big, encompassing in aerial arts. We work with a lot of the studios in town just to go in and check, oh yeah, your rigging's okay, this is fine. I've gotten real close with one studio in town. Shay and Jen and myself also run Aerial Olympics, which is aerial and pole competition. We hold it in the US, but we have performers from all over the world come out.
How many people will be at that participating? Because
of everything going on, we're a little low, but it's about 120 competitors, 110 over a 3-day competition. And it's just every category from juniors. I think our oldest lady was 60 something, down to like 6-year-olds. And everyone in between, performing on every apparatus you can think of. And we run that competition a few times a year, a couple of regionals throughout the country, and then a big one in Salt Lake.
How old is this venture? 6, 7 years?
I think this is our 7th year. We do the whole production from video, and we shoot video the whole thing and edit it and give it to the girls, photos of the whole thing. Actually, we've transitioned, as this COVID thing's going on, to shooting a lot of podcasts and live streams for people, making the transition to where we can and still putting the show on.
That's a great skill set, to be able to look at your situation right now. Again, there's some death, there's some carnage, there's some fire, and going, all right, this is a whole new playground. What's the game? And you're gonna take advantage of that, rather than being a victim of the situation and waiting for someone else to bring you the opportunities.
No, it's
really love that about
going out and finding what you love to do, finding what you want to do, finding a way to do it, and just doing it.
Do you think that this new awareness now of the ability to have so much of the workforce in the world be working from home, or does that present new opportunities for everybody?
I think it'll change more of the corporate world than it will entertainment, because you can't get away from the feeling of going to a show and seeing whatever it is. You cannot get that from a camera, from a monitor, out of your car in a parking lot. Seeing a beautiful sunset is great. Sitting there and watching it with your significant other, your best friend, whoever that happens to be, is that much better. It's enjoying something or digging a ditch.
Right. Right.
Down to I'll go dig a ditch all day if I have to.
Amen.
But I'd rather go dig a ditch with somebody to come with me.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's just funner to do it with a buddy. All right. Now, there needs to be a moment where we make sure we talk about your guns, because that's something that's going to send people one way or the other. And it's interesting and fascinating, and I love it.
This is my desk in my office and where I work most days. I think they're a lot of fun. I enjoy building them. I enjoy tweaking them. I enjoy shooting them. And they're so pretty. The wood, the marbling, all of it. It's just a lot of fun for me, and I enjoy having them. And
what makes a good gun?
What makes a good gun is what feels comfortable to you. 100%. I I have stupidly expensive guns, and I've got stupidly cheap guns that are just more fun and gags, and they're both fantastic. Being able to lay down and hit a 8-inch target at 1,000 yards is a lot of fun for me. And again, to do it with somebody, because you always have a buddy out there spotting for you, and then he gets his turn, and we just go shoot paper or something at 1,000 yards, down to shooting tin cans off the back porch with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Old school Red Ryder BB gun that you lever action, and it's something that I've grown up with. Utah is very gun friendly, something I've just grown up with.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of
I love having them. Hey,
when it
talk
comes to the
current news, they're great security.
Okay.
Knowing how to use them, training your others to know how to use them. We enjoy having them, and then we have them all the time. And it's a security thing for us right now, is having them and knowing how to use them, knowing what to do with them, treating them all as they're loaded. All these things that everyone gets taught along the way, that we teach everyone along the way. And we will gladly take anybody that wants to go out and has never shot a gun but is willing to try, teach them what they need to know. It's that same thing, not being scared of going into something. Just if you're willing to come and do it, and it really goes with just about anything, and that we help with everybody across the board. If you're willing to come and do it and show me you want to and put the work in, we'll gladly come help you. We'll gladly do what we need to do to make that happen.
I really want to dig into that a bit. Of the things that you teach, because one of the themes that's kind of been throughout all of this is that, you want to raise the level of the guys around you. You bring them in so you can teach them aerial arts. You're teaching them. You're keeping guys there. What is it that if there's one message you're hoping these kids get from you, what are the things that you're like, you really want them to learn?
That's a hard one to boil down to. Don't be scared. Try, you can get into anything. You might muck it up. It might suck. It'll be the worst 2 days of your life or whatever it is.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. It's gonna
but don't be scared to go into it. Don't be scared to try something else.
And in that moment, I would also say that to work for someone like Talus, first of all, who has that mindset. So for those of you that are managers or leaders in any capacity, to create that environment for the people around you is one thing that makes them tenaciously loyal to you. And someone could come along and offer them a little bit more money, but to work for somebody who says, try something, make a mistake. I don't care. It doesn't threaten your job security. It doesn't threaten our friendship and relationship. I want you to try something new. Don't be afraid. Make a mistake. Creating that environment creates a loyalty that cannot be threatened with guns or better offers. Right?
With better offers or moving on or whatever.
And yet you encourage them to move on when the time is there. Yeah. Absolutely.
And to go do another thing. Like if any of them had a show come up to go on a tour, go. I encourage you to go. If you need help, let's do this. And go do that 3 month, 6 month, 1 year tour, because I'll still be here when you get done, when you get back.
Right.
And I'll still bring you back and we'll still do some shows like you'd never left, but you'll have that much more experience out in the world. And that's getting that experience, doing the shows, doing whatever it is.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Go do it. Like, cool. You're going to teach these kids how to build a set. I've never built a set before. I don't know how to use a drill. Cool. Well, we leave tomorrow. So let's go learn. Okay, the next one, stay calm. Because I push that one a lot.
Why?
Staying calm allows you to see what's coming up easier and react better to the situation at hand. It allows you to help assess what other people are doing. Stop that person from running into that hole in the ground. Stop yourself from doing something stupid. Don't jump to that conclusion so quickly because that's what you're focused on. And I see a struggle with that one a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Gary V.
Love him.
he was on a show and I sat backstage and listened to him go and was like, oh, slow to react but quick to act. That actually makes kind of good sense. So I put his Instagram up and he puts so much material out there every single day that it makes my head hurt.
Yeah, I love him too. I agree with you. I know what you're saying. Then a person can like sit and look at all this good stuff all day long and not get out and actually do stuff. So one of my things is, read, study, listen. I love it. I love it. But at the
That's
end of the
awesome.
day, man, action, get out and
Action
do
works.
things, because you will learn as
Do
you
it.
do it. Action is the cure to everything. And your mindset, that's the magic sauce. You need them both.
Yeah.
But just start, go pick up a drill and just start drilling. And
Just
now
go do it.
now I'll teach you how to stay calm, but get the drill first. Go get the drill. Walk, pick it up to work. So that's one of my, what are your pet peeves?
Whining when you did it to yourself. Notorious in our industry to go out and drink till they black out and then complain the next day of a hangover and you can't function and things like that. And it's like, you did this to yourself, so keep working or go home. It irritates me enough to not want to hire them anymore. You can do whatever you want in your off time, but it still reflects on you. As much as people don't say that, whatever, it doesn't matter. It still reflects on who you are. We work in such an industry that, hey, I got to load in now. Can you guys get down here? Or, hey, we're off early tonight, but we have an early start tomorrow morning. So they all go off. They all go get a little too shit-faced, a little too drunk, because they're out of town. They're at a hotel bar. They're not in their normal situation, and they can't function to get the job done, to do what they need to do. And it makes it to not want to hire them anymore.
You are a guy who can handle yourself, and you did show up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but still you have kind of changed your whole game to where you're not staying up drinking anymore.
No.
You can pick an occasion, but how did that come about?
Yeah.
How did you make that shift?
I think a lot of things in my life changed within a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a pretty serious relationship, the woman I'll spend the rest of my life with. And that's been probably one of the best things to happen to me so far. But then, growing up and realizing that I can't do that every night. I can't make that happen anymore. Now I know that people rely on me to do if I don't do what I do and make happen, everybody else suffers. Because now I have so many people relying on me to do that job so they can do their job, that they can do their stuff in the morning. That took a lot of it out of me. Mm-hmm. That took away the drive for it. I have so much fun with what I'm doing and where I'm at that I don't need to go out and lose myself in that. And that I still love everything I do here, which is just as much fun for me.
Right.
Since COVID, we've started our own little farm out here. We've got a good sized garden going, chicken coop and 24 chickens, rabbits out here. Having those things are a lot of fun for me.
We talked about this one time because I burned up an awesome amount of years and money on drinking.
Oh, and the money.
I know that tomorrow's success, like what I really want to do tomorrow, that success really hangs in the balance tonight. I want to get to bed because I want so bad tomorrow to be productive, right? In those hours.
Yeah.
And I think better, I make better decisions, my reaction times are better, my state, all of that.
Yes.
It's just a healthy thing. And somehow I found myself I didn't quite ever say, God, I need to stop drinking. I want to stop drinking. My focus shifted over to, I got to get to bed because tomorrow morning I'm getting up. For me, it was a running exercise, and there was a shift in what I wanted. And I knew that the drinking was in the way. And I knew that the nighttime, that time is precious, man. You only got 24 hours. Man, you're going to burn 6 of them right there. Minimum 6 hours gone at the bar, in the hangover. And I was like, I need more time. And I can't burn it like that.
I mean, that's a fantastic way to put it. My shift of what I wanted changed. I want to make this company successful. I want to push this further. I know that entails me doing all this other work, and I have to do all this work now instead of doing what I want to go do. Because I want to go out and drink. I want to go spend time in the canyon this weekend and shoot guns with all of our old buddies. And I want to go out and do that. But I know that I want to make Area Olympics happen. We just got told a bunch of really bad information. So we have to rewrite our whole plan because we have to turn that in Monday morning. I want to make that happen. I know I need to stay here and do that.
I'm going to point out your language here too. It's interesting that there was one time you said, I got to do this. And then consistently since then you said, I want to do this. I really want to make that happen. And that shift, that's significant what's going on inside of you. And I love that. Like, I want to do it. Tell me this about, success. From the other side of the fence, people will look at Talus and go, Man, that's a success story. What for you?
He is
What
a
is success?
hot mess. That's a disaster is what I feel like. But success is a messy desk. As I'm staring at like 6 projects that I've got going on right here, of the fanciest desks, which is a 4x8 sheet of plywood on some sawhorses. What is success? I think success comes down to, it's got to come down to happiness for me. What I enjoy and being able to do that. Out of all the weird things and the management and the running of companies and training guys and everything else, I still enjoy engineering the electrics of a show and deploying that and going out and running it. I enjoy running the cable, pulling feeder, hanging the light, getting all that, and running a crew of local guys to get the show in. I enjoy that so much. And so success for me is being able to do that and enjoy that is what I enjoy and is what is successful for me. But being able to enjoy that and train all of these other people to be able to do that. And I can at this point. And because I have fantastic guys that I've trained so far, being able to hand that to them and they go do that show. And I know it'll be to the level that I prefer a show, the way I like to do it. And with their flair, because everyone has their own way of doing what it is, but doing it to the level that I like, the level that I've trained them. That's one part of success for me. Being happy is a whole nother side of that. Being able to be happy where I'm at, which has not been a hard one for me because I've always just enjoyed where I'm at, and I'm not going to be somewhere I'm not happy. I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm not happy. So it's been really easy for me, but now it's even easier with Jen and the yard and the little farm and still training people. And
that's it.
It's doing what you love.
It is.
Who is it? Mike Rowe. Don't do what you're passionate about, but take it with you. I love being able to do what I'm passionate about. I love being able to do what I love and what I enjoy. And being able to do that the rest of my life that would be success for me.
Okay. And there's another thing, another perfect example of being able to do what you want to do. I called Talus. I was in Macau on a gig. I was really buried. I was in a pinch and I needed somebody. And Talus was in a position to be able to get on a plane and come out for 4 months. And TD,
it was a lot of fun.
And that ability for you to go out and help people and serve. So it was just awesome. And it happened once at the Sierra Tour, and I had an emotional breakdown, and my ex-wife called my go-to guy who was off doing his own business, called Talus. And when I came back to the theater, there was Talus and a couple of the guys saying, where do I go? What do we need to, what needs to happen here to open the show? And it was as if, the gods had come off of Mount Olympus and showed up to say, here's a pina colada, you sit down, we will make this happen. You standing out as a hero. That's a quality I always want to be. I always want to be like that. I want to have that strength, that stay calm, that can do, that like, I'm not afraid, and I don't care what people think. That's another one of your hallmarks. I don't care what people think. I'm just doing the right thing, and like it or not.
Helping people whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I love, that's a whole nother exciting thing, but.
All right, Talus. I love you and respect you more than can be expressed in words. Really, man, thank you so much for taking this time. I'm really excited.
Anytime.
If people wanted to hire you and say, I want that guy to do my next gig, how would they get a hold of you and say, come do my gig?
Black Ops AV, Jen runs that on the Instagram, always posting whatever we're doing or trying. I think our website's pretty good, blackopsav.com. Best is send me an email. I respond to those really well. Talus at Black Ops AV.
We'll put it on there,
That's
man.
where
I just wish you all of the very best success. And
you make me sound cooler than I really am.
and he's got the humility to go along with it. No. But your broad shoulders, you're making a difference in the world as I see it. I think that's going to ripple out and affect people we can't even measure. Your influence is going to be manifest. We're going to run into somebody someday and they're going to say something or they're going to react somewhere and we're going to go, that's Talus. They learned that from you. And that gets passed on and passed on. So keep up the amazing work, man.
Oh, I will try.
Give my best to the crew.
I will.
Stay awesome, brother.